Coming up on Locally Florida, we're serving up a delicious deconstructed recipe that will have everyone at the table asking, who's the chef? Plus, we are heading to Winterfest to interview Santa Claus himself. Stay tuned for the fun. Hey there, and welcome to this very special holiday edition of Locally Florida. I'm your host, Tori Glass, here to sprinkle in some Christmas cheer into your day. Whether you're trimming the tree, wrapping up presents, or simply soaking in the season, we're so glad that you've decided to tune in. Here in Florida, the holidays look a little different. We might trade in our snow for sand, but the spirit of the season shines just as brightly. From twinkling palm trees to coastal holiday events, we've got a unique way of celebrating the most wonderful time of the year. Let's take a look at our Florida focus. Fort Walton Beach Police Department Winter Wonderland is back in action. Set a reminder on your calendar for December 6th and 7th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Then come check out all that the Northwest Florida Fairgrounds has to offer. Donations this year will be provided to Emerald Coast Toys for Tots and the Panhandle's Animal Welfare Society. On December 7th, the Christmas holiday celebration is taking place at Florida Place Food Trucks. Enjoy festive holiday decorations, Christmas carols, crafts, and cocoa. Plus, it's free admission, so grab your friends and family and celebrate the season by heading down to their Christmas holiday celebration at Florida Place Food Trucks. Visit East Hill every Thursday in December to view a classic Christmas movie in their beer garden. The first one will be at 6 o'clock on December 5th and will feature the movie Home Alone, followed by How the Grinch Stole Christmas on December 12th. Get ready to embrace the holiday spirit at the inaugural Holly Jolly Mall Walk, brought to you by Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Northwest Florida. Join the fun inside of Cordova Mall in Pensacola on Saturday, December 14th at 7 a.m. in the morning for a day filled with joy and festive cheer. Participants will enjoy a 5K walk along with delightful holiday activities such as hot chocolate, sweet treats, games and giveaways, and we can all revel in the sound of holiday music. There are so many more magical surprises in store to make your heart merry and bright. Plus, all funds raised will go towards supporting our mission of creating and supporting one-to-one mentor relationships in Northwest Florida. So be sure to check out the Holly Jolly Mall Walk. Experience Destin's most magical night of the year. On Sunday, December 15th at 6 p.m., set sail into the holiday spirit at Destin's 38th annual Holiday on the Harbor Boat Parade. This cherished tradition, brought to you by the Destin History and Fishing Museum, lights up the Emerald Coast, bringing together locals and visitors for an evening of festive fun, community cheer, and even fireworks. Witness the harbor come alive as beautifully decorated boats illuminate the night and dazzling lights and creative holiday displays everywhere. Plus, this event is free and open to everyone. You can watch from the shoreline, the harbor docks, Harbor Walk Marina, or you can elevate your viewing experience at one of Destin's most iconic waterfront bars and restaurants. Don't go anywhere because there's plenty more holiday magic coming your way. When we come back, we'll unwrap a delicious recipe that will have everyone going for seconds this holiday season. We'll see you in a jingle. Welcome back to Locally Florida. Up next, Karen Endsley is sharing her yummy deconstructed green bean casserole dish on her segment, Cooking from the Heart.
Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm super excited because it's holiday season, but instead of focusing on the main dish, today we're gonna work on a side dish. So let's get started. We are going to do a deconstructed version of the green bean casserole. Now we all have had that casserole, we loved it. It's got the mushroom sauce, the onions, you put it in the oven, but I got a little older, I thought, I kind of got to make these a little bit more mature. So we have got some beautiful green beans, and these are the French haricots verts, which are basically like a regular green bean, just a little bit longer, a little bit skinnier, and they come pre-washed, pre-trimmed. Save yourself the time. There is no shame in that. So got them in a big bowl. I'm going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil over them. Now this is about maybe 2 tablespoons. Not too much. You just want to coat them because we're actually going to roast these. And the cool thing about this green bean casserole is it's not really a casserole. It's kind of deconstructed. It's going to be layered and really pretty and so delicious. So I've got a little bit of salt I'm going to add on top of that. Now I've got my oven preheated at 350, and once these are all nice and coated, I'm going to put them on a baking sheet and I'm going to pop them into the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. All right, those are nice and coated. And I've got my cookie sheet, and you can tell it's been well loved. It is clean, it's highly seasoned. I'm just gonna lay these out on there. You wanna kind of put them in one layer as much as possible. You don't wanna pile them up too much. That way they will all cook evenly. And this is 1 pound of green beans. It doesn't have to be these haricots verts. It can be just any kind of green beans will work. I would not use frozen or canned though, because those are already somewhat processed and it's gonna change the texture of those green beans. All right, let's lay these out. I'm gonna spread them out a little bit. I mean, if they overlap a little bit, it's not the end of the world. It's just better to do them in a single layer as much as possible. All right, I think we're good. We're gonna pop those in the oven now for about 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, so now we're gonna work on the mushroom sauce. It's more of a rich, creamy mushroom sauce as opposed to the soup that gets mixed in. And it's gonna be thick and it's gonna layer right on top of those beautiful roasted beans. So we are going to start with mincing some garlic. And I got my knife here. Garlic is such a pain to peel, but let me give you the trick. You can get your aggressions out if you've had a stressful day. Ooh, look at that, and it breaks it up and it makes it much, much easier to peel. All right, let's just give this a little mince. I think I'm gonna use about that much. Okay, I'm gonna slide that over there for a moment. And then we're going to get to work on our mushrooms. Let me just clear that off. There we go. And you can use any kind of mushrooms you want. The white button mushrooms are fine. I have some really beautiful cremini mushrooms that I found at the store. Now I've got about 12 to 14 ounces. It doesn't have to be exact. This is not like baking, so it's not that super science, but about 12 to 14 ounces. And look how beautiful they are. I've already washed them, I've already trimmed them, so now I'm just gonna chop them up. Okay. And I like to make sure when I'm cutting these, you wanna make a nice flat side to put down just for safety. Otherwise it can wobble and you can really kind of hurt yourself. Also make sure you have a very sharp knife, because surprisingly, a dull knife is more dangerous than a sharp knife in the kitchen. Okay, so I'm down to my last mushroom, but before I chop that one up, I wanna get my heat going. So I've got a nice big pot here, and let me turn the stove on. We're gonna start it on about a medium high. I'm gonna add a little bit of fat to that. I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of butter and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. It will definitely make a difference. And we're gonna let those melt down for a minute before I add my mushrooms. All right, there are a lot. Oh yeah, I love that sizzle. And these mushrooms are so beautiful. Let's stir these around. While they cook, they're gonna release a lot of liquid. So you're gonna cook them for a little bit because we do want some of that liquid just to go ahead and evaporate. Now, as it's on low, that's when you're gonna see that liquid release from the mushrooms. So we're just gonna cook it for about maybe 2 to 3 minutes and try to get some of that out before we continue. So most of that liquid is evaporated. Now I'm gonna add my garlic and give that a little stir. Oh boy, it smells so good already. So now we're gonna continue to add our ingredients, and we're gonna do basically like a roux. We're gonna add a little bit of flour to that. And the nice thing also about the way we're doing this is that it's gonna coat the mushrooms. It's gonna cook that raw kind of flour flavor off a little bit. But since it's getting all spread amongst the mushrooms, you're not gonna have any lumps when you put your liquid in. So the first thing I'm gonna add is a 1/2 cup of chicken stock. I'm just gonna pour that right in there. And I'm gonna turn up the heat instantly, just like that, because that heat is gonna combine with the liquid and the flour to thicken up the sauce. Okay, so now I have 1/2 cup of half and half. If you wanna get really decadent, you could just use heavy cream, but I'm gonna be eating a lot at this dinner, so I'm trying to be healthy where I can. Now for the grown-up part. I've got about 1/4 cup of sherry here. I'm gonna pour that right in there. And I want to pour that in while it's still cooking because if it boils, it's going to cook the alcohol off. So you're going to get all of the flavor, but none of the alcohol. So it's very kid friendly. So you can see it's starting to thicken when you move the spoon or the spatula through it, and you can see the bottom of the dish. If it was all just liquid, you would not see the bottom, but look at that. So it's starting to thicken up nicely. And now I'm going to turn it off because as it cools, the sauce is going to get thick and rich, and it's going to be so delicious. My green beans are done, so while this cools, I'm gonna pull those out of the oven and put them on a plate. Okay, so look at how beautiful those look. You can see a little bit of the char from the broiling, and that's gonna bring the sweetness up to the top of those vegetables. It's gonna tiny bit of crunch, but they're gonna be nice and soft and tender on the inside. Now I'm gonna take this little ladle, and I'm gonna put some of this sauce on top. All right, I think that is probably enough. And to top it, we have our fried onions. Oh my gosh, look at how beautiful this is. Now tell me this is not a green bean casserole you would be so proud to show off for the holiday season. All right, guys, I am gonna sink my teeth into this, but I will see you next time.
Oh, that looks so good. I know what I'll be cooking for this year's holiday dinner. Stay tuned. We've got a very special guest coming your way, straight from the North Pole to our sunny Florida shores. He's got a big red suit, a white beard, and a whole lot of holiday cheer. Yep, you guessed it, it's Santa Claus himself, here to tell us about the magic of Winterfest. So grab a cookie or top off your cocoa, and we'll be right back with the big guy in red. Thanks for sticking around for this holiday special of Locally Florida. Now, if you're looking for the perfect way to capture the Christmas spirit, look no further than Winterfest, a dazzling winter wonderland right here in Pensacola, Florida. But don't just take my word for it. Let me show you how to make this a holiday to remember. Here we are at Winterfest in the beautiful downtown Pensacola, and I'm with Santa Claus himself, asking about all of the festivities that are going on throughout the rest of the holiday season. Santa, welcome to Locally Florida.
Welcome to the little piece of North Pole that I have here.
I know, it's beautiful.
It's kind of like when the government has a building in another country, it's considered your own little piece of land. Well, that's how I consider this. This is part of the North Pole.
So the sleigh's the North Pole.
The sleigh is the North Pole.
Well, I want to know, how did you prepare all of the reindeer for the long trek all the way from the actual North Pole down to beautiful Pensacola, Florida?
Okay, before we go any further with this, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Have you been a good girl?
I think so. I'd like to say that I have.
You know I have a list, right?
Okay, well, I hope I'm on it.
Right. So how did I prepare the reindeer?
Yes.
Well, we have about 6 months out, we put them on a pretty strict fly diet.
Okay.
Which is a lot of reinforced oats, some apples, some other things. I don't tell you everything they get. That's kind of proprietary. And then we toughen them up by throwing snowballs at them for about 6 months.
Oh.
And then by the time Christmas rolls around, they're ready to go.
Well, I hope those are candy apples, because magical apples would, of course, get you down here.
The problem with candy apples is they stick to the fur. We tried that, and then we went back to the regular apples. You can understand how that is.
Yeah, I can. Well, see, we're down here at the Winterfest. Can you tell us a little bit about the special activities that are going on for all of the kids watching at home?
Absolutely. Winterfest has been going on for more than 20 years.
Oh.
And I've been a part of that for the whole time. We have 3 tours that we do. 2 of them are kind of Grinch tours and 1 is not. The 2 Grinch tours are a Merry Match, which is some kind of a love triangle between the Grinch and Cindy Lou Who, I think, or maybe Mary May Who. And I'm not sure who the 3rd one is. Then there is the Great Christmas Tree Heist, and that is where the Grinch is trying to steal all the Christmas trees.
Of course.
And then we also have a Polar Express tour. And if folks come out and get on the tours, they ride around, they see the stuff that's going on. There's availabilities for hot chocolate. and cookies. And then at the end of it, if you want, you can come up, talk to me, tell me what you want for Christmas. I'll tell you what the odds are on that. And so it's kind of a lot of fun. Everybody has a good time that does this.
It sounds like it. And it sounds like there's a lot to do. There's more than one character Santa here. There's the Grinch, sounds like Cindy Lou Who, Polar Express characters that may hop on the trolley and trams.
Yes.
Well, that is just the most magical time. I bet families love it.
Oh, they do, they do.
Is there any advice you'd give to families wanting to make the most out of their Winterfest experience?
Not really. Everything is done on reservation. Even coming to see me, we take reservations for that, so they don't have to wait so long in a line.
So they need to get on your list, is what I'm hearing you say.
On the list.
Okay, got it.
And of course, you have to have tickets for the tours, and typically that is done off of our website.
Okay, and that is
PensacolaWinterfest.org.
PensacolaWinterfest.org to get onto Santa's list so that you can come down here, meet Santa, take some photos, buy tickets to the activities, the trams and the trolley rides, and meet Santa himself, which, I mean, this is a treat.
Yeah, please come. Please come. I'd like to talk to you about some of your activities.
Well, you mentioned earlier that there's opportunities for cocoa and cookies. I have one more question for you.
Yes.
You eat a lot of cookies on Christmas Eve, don't you?
I do.
Do you have a favorite? Is there one you like more than the other?
I have a favorite.
Okay.
But it doesn't get out.
Oh.
Well, because look, if a child has chocolate chip and I say I like gingerbread, then, you know, what's the kid's kind of out in the cold, right?
Aww.
So if I say I like sprinkles and they've got some other flavor, they're kind of out in the cold.
So you eat them all?
I eat them all.
Oh.
I don't turn, well, look at me, I don't turn cookies away.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming on to Locally Florida and for inviting us down here at Winterfest.
Well, remember, I am watching. You've got about a month between now and Christmas, and you could be bad between now and then, so I am keeping track.
He's watching me, and he's watching you guys, so everyone be good for Santa Claus this year.
Please.
And come down to Winterfest 2024.
Can I do one parting note?
Absolutely.
Ho!
Thank you. Wow, what a festive time that we've had getting a sneak peek into the magic of Winterfest. And a huge thank you to Santa. If that doesn't get you in the holiday spirit, I don't know what will. But don't go anywhere. Stick with us for more Locally Florida right after the break. What a festive show it's been today here on Locally Florida. We've shared the magic of Winterfest and got into the kitchen to learn an incredible new green bean casserole recipe. A big thank you to Santa and everyone who's making the holiday season so special. Before we go, don't forget to follow us on social media for all of the latest events and a few behind the scenes posts as well. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Just search for Locally Florida to join the conversation. As we wrap things up, get ready for a festive performance by Radio Live's musical guest to close out this holiday celebration. From all of us here at Locally Florida, we wish you a Merry Christmas season and a Happy New Year. I'm Tori Glass, and I will see you next time.
Woke up in a parking lot on a Sunday afternoon. You knew it was a pity, babe, the money came and went too soon. You spent it like a dead man, like it rains in Tennessee. Hard and fast and all at once on the night you first saw me. Passing in the night, two welcoming lights stay until the dawn. I drank a whole bottle of wine, you polished off the gin. I was sick to my stomach, babe, I wasn't ready wasn't lifted, now the summer sun did rise. I see something plain and honest in your eyes. Passing in the night with two welcoming lights, stay till the dawn. There's not a single minute when you don't hear an engine spark. I can find some peace within it, lying here with you in the dark. Passing in the night, two welcoming lights, stay until the dawn. We'll go where the sun rays reach, far beyond this beach, and the wind blows strong.